Hello, I think there's a problem with the. Yes,
Yeah, that doesn't look too good.
I think we can stop the music because it's not working right now.
No problem, man. No problem. We've all heard it 1,000 times.
Yes, we can start. Greetings and hello everyone. Welcome to Flat Earth Turkey channel. I'm Ömer Faruk. So glad to have you with us here tonight. And we have a very special guest today, the conspiracy music guru Alex Michael, who is telling the flat Earth fact through music. I'm sure most of the flat earthers know him very well, and as normal, some of them not. Why we host him here is we really like his style, and he is putting little smiles on people's face while telling the flat earth. I think this is a very good way to make people laugh in order to show them the facts behind the hoax and deception. So, Alex, welcome again, and thanks very much for joining us and not refusing our invitation today. Appreciate it, and that's really our pleasure to host you here.
Well, thank
Also,
you for
Shane,
inviting me. And I'm very much looking forward to the conversation. And hello, Turkey. I've always wanted to say that.
thanks very much. Also, Şengül from Seven Zone YouTube channel and Ali Duman will join us. There are two flat earthers as well, very famous in Turkey. You can take a look at the description box below for the links. So honestly, our followers, audiences, and fans are looking forward this live stream for days, and I'm sure they're gonna watch you with bated breath. Anyway, let's start the conversation with a couple of questions. Alex, have your say, please.
Well, I mean, what topic do you want me to address? I mean, most people in the UK and the US, I have a quite a following in the US now. Most people know me as the Flat Earth Man, which was a character that I created to hide behind initially when I first came to the realization that we've been lied to on a grand scale, and I wanted to put that into music, and I was not very comfortable with the subject at the time, so I created a character, a larger than life country character, to express what I understood about where we live and some of the hoaxes that are thrust upon humanity. So I once I got comfortable with some information and I was armed, then I decided to put it into music, and I had no idea that it would be relatively successful. I mean, I still, as far as I'm concerned, have a relatively small YouTube channel with about 30,000 subscribers. And that's a drop in the ocean, really, if you're talking about YouTube channels. But I like to think I've made, a difference musically to people's mindset. And I get that from the comments, and I get that from people telling me in private messages and emails that the music helped them along their journey to understand the reality of where we live. So I've found that music can be an incredibly helpful tool to do that. And particularly, as you said in your intro, when you're doing it in a comedic style, when you're using humor and comedy, people can enjoy the information and grasp the information a lot easier. So I found it to be a very effective tool, and I'm continuing to do it because of that. So yeah, hello everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Conspiracy Music Guru on YouTube. Check out some of my videos. They're very visual, and the songs are very catchy and informative, and that's basically what I do.
So that's very good. And by the way, our other guest, Ali Duman, is with us right now. Ali Duman, welcome.
Hey, Ali.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm Turkish, but I'm joining from US. I live in Arizona.
Oh, wow. How long have you been there?
It's 25 years. It's been US, so it's been a long time.
Have you been practicing your American accent?
Well, in the southern accent is a little bit different. So I used to be in the north in New York, but now trying to adjust this Arizona
it's difficult. It's difficult when you move to a new country. I mean, I've been living in Spain for 6 years now, and I'm trying to learn the language and the the culture here and everything. And so it's a tough deal when you move everything your entire life to another country and start again. But
that's correct.
I'm much happier where I am now, so I'm glad I made the move and I made the effort.
Right. And English is also all different in in England versus American is a little bit different accent. So originally in Turkey we learned British English, and then came here with learn a different accent. So anyways, I don't want to
And also
take
in
the
the different
conversation.
part of the UK or the America, the language is different. You're talking, you're speaking English. However, the accent is totally different.
Completely different. I mean, if you go up to the north and you go to Manchester and
Right.
Newcastle, and if you go further north into Scotland, they're all speaking English, but the Scottish accent is so broad. The Mancunian accent and the Newcastle accent, they're so, you know, even the English people have a hard time understanding it. So it's amazing to me that you can go just drive for 3 or 4 hours and hear a completely different dialect, and that fascinates me.
Yes, if you compare the
You're right.
Belfast accent with the London accent, they are totally different. Alex, welcome again. You answered my first question because I was planning to ask you who is Alex Michael. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? But you told you did it. I really want to ask you that how did you meet the flat Earth? What happened? And after what you started to say the Earth is flat?
Well, it was in 2014 that I moved to Spain, and I said goodbye to my old life and my old friends, really. And I not only started a new venture by moving my entire life to Spain, but I then uncovered a whole new understanding of where we live. Well, I was just in Spain for a couple of years, and I'd already been into a lot of conspiracy research with 9/11 and chemtrails and fluoridated water and all of these kinds of things. And so I was being offered more conspiracy videos in YouTube. And back then in 2016, there wasn't so much censorship as there is now. And the flat earth videos were appearing in my YouTube feed, which I just couldn't understand that people would think that the earth is flat. I thought it was just the most ridiculous thing that anybody could ever say. And so I refused to click on any of the videos because I thought it was a ridiculous concept. But I clicked on a video one day and it was entitled, "They Are Hiding God with the Biggest Secret." And it didn't have flat earth in the title, so someone had changed the title. And I clicked on that video and it turned out to be Mark Sargent's Flat Earth Clues.
Right.
And that's about 2 hours long. And by the end of that video, I knew there was something to it. And I didn't think flat earth was so ridiculous because, you know, he offered enough evidence in that 2-hour presentation for me to at least think there's something to this. So that was the video that was the straw that broke the camel's back, if you like. And that really got me thinking. And because I looked at that video, more flat earth videos were coming up in my YouTube feed. And at that point, I wasn't scared to click on those videos anymore. I didn't think it was so ridiculous because I'd already, you know, been shown, the seed had been sown at that point. So once the seed was sown, I just got the bug and I just wanted to keep looking and keep looking and keep researching. And it was about a year after I'd, you know, looked into this globe deception that I felt comfortable enough to put it into music. So that was back in 2016 when I discovered my first video, and then I made my first song in 2017.
So thanks very much. My question will be that why flat Earth? If we compare your life before and after flat Earth, what difference has occurred in your life?
Well, I've actually written some lyrics about this. I've included the way I feel now in one of my songs, and the song is called "Don't Let Them Take Your Mind." And I wrote in that song, you know, that I've come to an understanding that we are the center of creation and there is a creator. And only 8 years ago, I was an atheist, and now I recognize a creator. So I know we're in a created realm and are the center of everything. That changes your mindset. It changes your paradigm completely. And when you realize there's a God or a creator, you start to behave a little differently. And having a little bit of a spiritual understanding, as well as, you know, things like the law of attraction and being a better person and having that reflect back on you, and just trying to really understand that if there's a creator, then maybe there is a judgment. And it basically stopped me from being an incredibly naughty man, because I was quite the, I don't know, I've lived a life of sex, drugs and rock and roll. Let's put it that way. As most musicians have. You know, I've worked in the bars and the clubs, and I've taken drugs, and I've been heavy with alcohol and womanizing as well. I've had many sexual partners. I shouldn't be saying this, but this was the life I was living as a musician. And now all of that stopped, because I recognized that the person that I was a product of this beast system, if you like. And then coming to the realization that we've been lied to about where we live. I think it changes you as a person. It certainly changed me, the way I behave and the way I treat people. In the line in the song is, I treat people with more respect, and I've got me a wife that I'd never neglect. And that's utterly true. My music lyrics are, you know, is me expressing myself in a way. So there's the lyrics that I write are a lot deeper than probably people would imagine on a surface level. So it's utterly changed my life from where I was in the UK, believing in the globe nonsense, to where I am now as, you know, a globe skeptic. I don't love the term flat earther, because as soon as someone hears flat earther, they immediately, it triggers something in them. So I do prefer globe skeptic, but I guess coming out as the flat earth man and singing all these songs, I suppose I can't escape that title. But getting back to your question, it has changed my life for the better, 100%, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Perfect.
And also 180 degrees reverse, I think, because it's not a geographical issue for us as well. I'm talking about the flat earth fact. It's totally changing the human's life and your approach, your beliefs, everything in your manner. I think we're not talking about a disc, how to say, flying in the space, or that's not important. The Earth is globe or flat, but it's important how we live our lives.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So
one thing that the community can agree on. I don't like to talk about shapes. I don't like to preach models or anything. All I can really try and get people to do is to do the research and find out that they've been lied to on such an astronomical, pardon the pun, such an astronomical way. And all I can do really is to get people to look at the information, because I do believe it changes your life, and it changes your life for the better. So I don't argue about, is it flat? Are there outer lands? Does it go on forever? Is there a dome? I suspect there might be, but it's certainly when you realize that we're way more important than we've ever been led to believe, that's got to be a good thing, right?
yes, exactly. And also, Ali, if you have any questions for Alex, you can feel free to ask them.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Alex, thanks for the story. Yeah, this I really amazed listening. We have very similar, different stories, but we came through the same thing. So realizing the God and the flat earthers makes us a more responsible person, understanding. In Turkey, you have a lot of followers, and we have small channels like 2,000, 3,000. I don't know. Maybe some channels are maybe 10,000 subscriber. Not a big community in Turkey, but I know a lot of people knows you. Especially, I know you because of the Flat Earth conference in Denver. I believe you were there. So I was watching. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend because of the work, but I was watching online. And then I know Globebusters is my favorite channel, so they mentioned,
great.
Yeah, they mention you a lot. So I enjoyed your music. Don't let your take your mind away. That's one of my favorites. And the last one that you published, I think what was the name?
I Told You So.
I Told You So. Yes, that's the one. So that was also very great. I've been listening. Yeah, that's the question is for the Denver, did you attend? You came to US to attend here, right? That's I remember seeing the all the slideshows that you made with the background in your music, so that's how I know about.
That was Denver, Colorado in 2018.
18, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And how is the community as far as where you live versus England? I think I know the Dave, alleged Dave. So a lot of flat earthers there. So how's the people around you?
Yeah, the conference was amazing because I got to play my music in front of an audience that understood it, which was great because I've spent most of my life in pubs singing to people that were not listening. So the audience in Denver was so receptive, and it was a really wonderful time. And being around like-minded people is certainly a wonderful experience. So I got to meet a lot of friends there. And I keep in touch with a lot of people that I met in the conference. So I have a lot of online friends that are of the same mindset.
Right.
Here in Spain, I don't have a massive social circle. I've been here 6 years. So I have maybe like a handful of friends, probably 5 friends that are of the same understanding. And that's enough for me, really. So I think it's important to have quality rather than quantity when it comes to friends.
Right.
So I don't go out really so much. I usually just bury my head in my studio and get creative. So I'm not really on the market for new friends. I don't want 1 million friends. Just 5 will do. And occasionally we meet up here and we will talk about truth all night long. And, that's wonderful. Now I get my social fix that way. But as much as my old friends that would never get this understanding, I've said goodbye to them. And that's another wonderful thing that Flat Earth does. You attract more like-minded people. And you end up having incredible conversations for hours and hours and hours and on end. Whereas my life before, you would be having brief conversations about absolutely nothing, But now I find myself having, very deep discussions and theorizing and all of these kinds of things. So, although my social circle is not massive, it's certainly there's quality friends that I have now because of this new understanding.
So if you're a flat earther, it obviously means that you won't have lots of friends. The people around you, yes, the situation is same here. When we start to speak about the flat earth, the first reaction we are getting is, "Hey, you're crazy. Are you mad? What you are talking about?" So then you start to tell what the flat earth means. You are trying to describe something, explain something, and he or she starts to listening, and then finally he or she says that it's a bullshit. Yeah. So this is the fact, and I think this is the fact which we face. I'm sure that the situation in the United States is not different than here or the UK.
I think it's the same all over the world. You have different types of people. You have right-brained people that are creative and they can open their mind to these concepts. They can open their mind to truth. And I think that humanity has the capability to do it. But I think the system that we live in, this beast system, it beats the divinity and the creativity out of you. And people are pushed into that left brain prison where they just cannot conceive of such an idea. And it's very, very sad. But I always love the quote from Da Vinci where he said there are 3 classes of people: those that see when they are shown, and those that do not see. And there are people out there that will never, ever, ever see it, no matter how much evidence you put in front of them. They just simply cannot see it. And maybe they're not supposed to. Maybe their journey this time is not their time to wake up. So there will always be a class of people that are just not destined to wake up. And that's a real shame. And you have to gauge your audience when you're talking to people to find out where they are. in their mind, you know, and I just drop a little seed here and there, and just to see their reaction. And you have to gauge your audience very well when it comes to this, topic, and I've learned to do that.
What about your family? I'm just wondering I just want to know that what kind of reaction did you get from your family, for your mom, your dad? What did they say?
This is the beautiful thing about my music, because depending on your level of understanding, if you don't know anything about the NASA fraud or anything about the globe, you can still enjoy my music. You can just see me with a hat and glasses and dancing around, and you know, you just think it's some crazy conspiracy guy, but obviously very creative. So my family have seen it on that level. They just think I'm being creative and being satirical. It's just comedy, it's just satire. But you can't deny that there's musicianship in the music, and you know, there might be, you can call it talent in the music. So my family are only seeing it on that level. They probably don't even think that I believe what I'm singing, which of course I do. I know that there are many, many layers of truth within my lyrics. So my family can still enjoy my music, but they probably just brush it off and think, oh, he doesn't really believe that. And the other aspect to it is I'm not particularly close to my family. So I don't speak to them. You know, I could go, you know, a couple of years without speaking to any of my family. I'm really the outcast. I'm the black sheep of the family. So, you know, I'm the crazy one. So, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. In fact, I embrace that, because if somebody cannot resonate with what I'm saying or what I'm singing, be it family or not, if they don't resonate with it, then that's fine. But I'm going to still continue to be me. I will not hide anymore. Which is why I continue to do what I do and do interviews and be very open, because I find there's an awful lot of freedom in just speaking my mind or singing my mind and being who I am and being real and being realistic. So people can take it however they want, whether it's my mother or my father or whomever. I really don't care.
Hopefully they're not watching this live stream.
I don't care anymore. I'm past caring what people think of me. I really am. It's very, very
working. And also some same reactions from our families as well. When you start to tell them the flat earth, I'm a flat earth, they at first they think that you're kidding or joking, because there's some how to say, big, very, very big corporations such as NASA. Hey guy, NASA is lying and you're telling the truth, right? So this is the most difficult part of this issue, I think.
Yeah, well, and then their response will be, well, everybody has to be in on it. Are you telling me that thousands and thousands of people can keep a secret? You know, all of these generic reactions that I've heard 1,000 times. So it's very, very difficult. But I've just come to the realization that some people will never, ever, ever, ever get it. Not in this life. And that's fine.
I don't want to blame anyone, because maybe for 3 years or before 4 years, I used to believe the Earth was a globe. So I don't want to blame anyone. And the second question is most asked. The second question is, what about the other planets?
Yeah,
are they flat as well?
Yeah.
This is the most difficult part to tell them. We're not talking about a flat planet. We're talking about the ground.
Yeah, so exactly. There's that old saying, isn't it? Well, why don't you look in your living room and you look up to the ceiling and you can see a light, and the light is round. But does that mean the floor is also round? Of course not. And the billiard table as well, the snooker table. You look at a snooker table and all the balls on the snooker table. It doesn't mean that the snooker table is also a sphere. And I like that analogy.
Yeah, I just want to jump in here. So sorry. I have a Nikon P1000. So since I bought that, so I start looking at the stars. I mean, first of all, I did the curvature test, of course, but looking at the stars, and none of them is round, actually, if you look at it. And then only the few wandering stars that I see, you know, look like round, but doesn't mean that they are sphere. So I mean, there's everything on up sky, and it looks just a light, like similar to your ceiling. So if you know, I have a YouTube channel. I'm posting those also it's a very important proof that it's the sky, infinite spaces is a lie, or the the stars are not a burning fireballs. So that's totally different. So as soon as I saw that with my own eyes, so I was amazed, and my mind has really changed. So the questions from here. So is there any observation you did yourself, or do you have a camera, or what's actually made you 100% sure that the Earth is flat? What experiment is really come to do yourself to make it I'm 100%?
Well, for me, it when I moved to Spain, and the evidence was staring right at me every single day, and I had no idea. I take my dog for a walk every day, and on a clear day, we can see the island of Ibiza, which is approximately 60 or 70 miles away. On a clear day, we can see the whole thing, and that should be utterly impossible on a globe. So there's my first-hand "we see too far" evidence. And I like the proof also of the long-range photography as well. The world record for the longest photograph ever taken is something like 300 miles. Again, utterly impossible on a ball. So, I mean, you can add to that another 200 or 300 "we see too far" proofs. So just on that alone, you can say "we see too far." So it's certainly not what they're telling us, is it?
That's correct. 100%.
Yes, that's totally correct. You don't need any tool, even any tool, for example, a telescope or something like that. With the naked eye, you can easily observe it. So if the weather conditions are okay, available, you can easily see the proofs of the flat Earth while testing. And also, Şengün, can you hear me? 7 Zone. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
You have any question for Alex?
Hello, how are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
I think maybe you have a problem with your internet connection, 7 Zone.
I'm waiting. Mesut?
Yeah, the camera is a little...
Yeah.
Yes, it's moving, something like stop, move, something like that.
Internet connection is very...
Is it your question?
Oh, yeah.
Nice, I like
2
it.
seconds. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, ta-ta-ta-town, breaking news. Neil has a new album. Come on, Neil. What's that? Show her. Who is the boss, Alex?
What do you mean? What do you want me to play? Living on a Pear? Hold on. Let me try.
Show her. Yeah.
Whoa, we halfway there. Whoa, living on a Pear.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a good meme. That is. I've seen that meme before, but yeah, doesn't Neil deGrasse Tyson say it's the globe is pear shaped, right? It's a little oblate spheroid according to Bill Nye, and it's pear shaped according to Neil deGrasse Tyson. So
they just want to cover up the southern side is a little bit, distance are longer than, of course, not a little bit, a lot longer than northern side. They just want to cover up that they come up with the pear shape ball idea.
Yeah, it's just lie after lie after lie. It's the confusion technique, I think they call it, where they just put nonsense on top of nonsense on top of nonsense.
Right.
And just leaving you confused. They make space so difficult to understand. You're talking about millions and billions of light years. It's just unfathomable. And it just confuses the person into a state of, well, I will never understand it, therefore I will pay it no attention.
Yes, it's the best way to confuse the people. then people will start to think that is the earth is flat or globe or something like pear or another shape, then all of the information will be confused and it will be very difficult for the people to understand the fact. This is how to say a hoax technique, I can say like that. So they are giving lots of information, disinformation.
It's mind control is what it is. It's wizardry,
Yeah.
if you like, you know.
Right.
Mind control and brainwashing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The heliocentric model came out of the Catholic Church, so it is a religion.
For someone.
Yeah, for someone, yeah.
So I think how to say they are doing this on purpose, giving lots of information. They're not correct, incorrect, and because you are researching flat Earth, and they are giving an information like this, it's very stupid. The world is like a pear, and it's nonsense. So then maybe you can start to think that are they telling the truth? I'm not sure. So maybe the earth is not flat. Yes, I'm sure it's not globe, but maybe it can be a pear. So confusing their minds and brainwashing. This is what they always do. Okay, I just want to ask you a question, Alex, about this. When do you think this deception will end, and when will people exactly find out the earth is flat? Honestly, when will NASA abandon the globe Earth scenario has written for years?
Yeah, that's a difficult one because the way I see things, if you take 9/11 as an example, I mean, that's 20 years ago that we were given that narrative of 9/11. And even after all the information out there, 20 years on, it still remains a conspiracy theory. And it still remains in a corner of the internet as late with the label conspiracy theory. And this is 9/11. Obviously, flat Earth is a much, much bigger conspiracy. It's the biggest lie of all, of course. So as much as I hope that the truth will come out about the huge lies about where we live, it's very difficult for me to think that it will, because if we can't even get the 9/11 truth out there, how on earth are we going to expose the biggest lie of all? So it's impossible for me to say when. I can only hope. And I am seeing a growth. Obviously, more and more people are coming to this understanding. This is why there's more and more censorship. YouTube have openly stated that they're censoring the flat Earth topic because there seems to be a general awakening happening. So I can only hope for good things.
I mean, your hope, because to be honest, we don't know exactly when it will happen. And also the people who believes flat earth, our numbers are very low. For example, we had a group in a community in Facebook. I think it was the largest community in Turkey, and it's closed by Facebook because we are violating something according to them. Our posts are not according to with their how to say demands. It was maximum 16,000 people.
Well, there's a Facebook group
members.
There's a Facebook group. What it was called the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion group on Facebook, and it had 140,000 members.
I know.
And that was taken down from YouTube recently in the last couple of months.
That's correct.
So this is what they're doing. Anything alternative information, particularly with alternate health as well, is being censored. People are going to other platforms like DLive, which was supposed to be decentralized, and now they are censoring people. So we're fighting a battle here. You know, it's an information battle. It's the modern day book burning. So this is what we're up against, and it's incredibly difficult. Even I've had 2 of my songs taken down from YouTube. So you know, even my satirical comedy music is not suitable because you know, I don't really know what the answer is. We just have to keep going from platform to platform. We have to maybe think outside the box and think of different techniques to get this information out. But we are certainly being censored massively, and it's a real shame. Yeah,
I think despite the effort, I mean, still we are getting together, connecting with the other platform, finding each other. That's the good thing. So we're, I think, growing. A lot of people hearing us, not just online. I mean, because of the pandemic, everybody was locked down in the house, but in a lot of people are in connection, so they cannot. They're not going to be able to achieve. They put this buried on the ground. But so we're still going to do it. We're still going to find a way. But the main thing I think is here is the media. I mean, if media is controlled by the elite, I don't think anybody will hear about flat Earth. So the point, I think, the turning point, I believe, if we can have the independent media, then and we can people can start hearing the truth. So that's my hope.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very difficult, isn't it, to get independent journalism and independent, people like us to if we go on a platform, we get censored. So the only answer really is to have independent platforms and our own websites and our own streaming services, which unfortunately costs an absolute fortune. And there's no rich people in flat Earth. We didn't get into this topic for the money. None of us are rich. Well, I don't think so, but we're certainly not monetizing flat Earth. So it's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. The censorship alone should be a huge red flag to people who are not awake. I mean, that's sometimes a topic that can wake people up. If you just tell them it's being censored massively on YouTube, that someone might go, wow, why on earth would they censor something so ridiculous? You can find anything else on YouTube, but you can't find flat Earth.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. I agree with that.
So at the first stage, they allow to share your opinion, to share your pause. But after one point, they said that you're not allowed. This is our, as you said, red flag. So you're not allowed. But we are not determining the conditions in the social media. Facebook, YouTube, no matters what name is they have. But we have to act according to their rules. This is the most difficult part of sharing our opinion with our followers. So one group, I'm talking about the largest Turkey group, is closed. And I'm sure that if one group will grow like that, they will be closed as well. Facebook or other social media will not allow this.
But I don't know what the answer is. I mean, apart from what I just said, it really is having our own independent platforms. But unfortunately, that comes with a huge cost. So I think I need to get a little bit more intelligent with my music and put more subliminal stuff in there. And I don't know. It's very difficult to gauge what the YouTube algorithms are this week, because they change probably daily. Because the algorithms are learning new things every day, so it's getting increasingly difficult for even someone like me who's just putting out comedy and satire. I'm finding now that YouTube are putting strikes on my channel and removing my content, so I either have to continue using YouTube but be a bit smarter about it, or just come off of YouTube and go where, I don't know. But yeah, it's a tough one.
Yes, I agree. The question, so did you used to do the music live performance? I mean, I know because of the lockdown and stuff, maybe recently you may not.
I mean, years ago, I mean, I was Mr. Entertainment. So when I was living in Essex, if a bar or a club or a pub wanted any entertainment, if they wanted a disco, a DJ, I would do that. I used to be a DJ for about 10 years professionally. If they wanted some karaoke, I would go in there with a karaoke machine and present all the singers, and I would sing a few songs myself. Or if they wanted a guitarist, I would take my acoustic guitar and do an acoustic performance. I've been in a couple of bands as well, but I find working on my own is much more enjoyable than working with other musicians. It's very difficult. So I certainly did my apprenticeship in the bars and the clubs, but now I find it much easier just to be a solo artist and get lost in my studio and be creative, because I have no other personalities to clash or ego trips or anything like that. I get to do whatever I want and I'm not signed to any label, so I have no restrictions. So I can do a rock song, I can do an R&B song, I can do hip hop, I can do rock, I can do anything I want. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I just keep trying to do different things, which I'm allowed to do because, you know, I'm independent. So yeah, it's a life of a musician, really. And now I'm just spending all my days in the recording studio, and I love it.
Nice. I saw it in Amazon. You can purchase a whole your track or the 10 of them. I think, I'm not sure it's also available in YouTube, but maybe not all of them.
And also, our followers, sorry to interrupt, Alex, but our audiences and followers are asking how we can buy his products. They're talking about your music albums.
Well, it depends. I mean, you can. My music is available on all digital platforms like iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. If you want to stream it, you can stream it from YouTube for free. All my content that I've ever released is free on YouTube. However, if you want to buy the physical CD, something you can actually hold and put in your car, you can go to Amazon.com and type in Conspiracy Music Guru. I would suggest the best place to go is to Conspiracy Music Guru on YouTube. Have a look at the videos. And in the description of every video, you will find links to my website, to my Instagram, to Facebook, to Amazon. So if you start at YouTube, you can get an idea of what I'm all about. And if you'd like to purchase a CD, then great. Or if you don't want to purchase anything and you just want to listen to the music for free, no problem. It's on YouTube for free also.
Okay, then
I will ask a question too.
Before your question, Şengün, I just want to remind one thing. Hey guys, if you want to see the links, you can take a closer look at the description box.
We're having some streaming
issue.
Yeah,
Ömer is cutting up, but I think. Yeah.
And you, yes.
Maybe we should continue with the Şengün. Sorry.
Yeah, we can't hear Omar.
Ömer, we cannot hear you. So I think Şengün, probably you should continue with your question, and I will come back to Ömer.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah. Now we can hear you.
Now we can.
Okay, I think there was a problem with my internet connection. I don't know. I'm not sure you.
It's the Illuminati, man. It's the Illuminati. It's the New World Order.
No problem. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, Alex. What's a 432?
The 432. That's a huge subject, really, and it's difficult to explain it in the limited time that we have here. But basically, the understanding is that the frequency of our music has been changed. The frequency that we used to tune a guitar to, you would take a guitar and you would take this A string, like any piano. It's the same as well. Any piano tuner will tell you that when they tune a piano, they start with the A string and they tune that to a frequency of 440 hertz. Now, go back about 60 years, it used to be 432 hertz, which cymatically, if you use cymatics as an example, the 432 hertz creates more coherent and patterns in the water, and 440 will create this kind of mess, if you like. So that would be a visual symbolization of what's really going on in our cells if we're to believe that we are 70% water. So somewhere along the line, the music has been tampered with. And if you start looking into the conspiracy, you start finding names like Rockefeller and Joseph Goebbels and these people behind the change of music from 432 into 440 hertz. So I would suggest the change was probably not a beneficial one for humanity. But it's an incredibly deep subject. I've made a couple of videos on it on my channel if you want to dip into it any further and get a taste for that. But there's plenty of information if you can find it, because believe it or not, the 432 versus 440 hertz conspiracy is also being censored, and you have to ask yourself why. But there's a There's a wealth of information on the subject, and I certainly believe that the 432 hertz is the way to go for music, which is why I create everything from scratch in 432 hertz. In fact, I made an album. Well, all of my music is in 432 hertz, but an album I released was called True Solfeggio. And I actually embedded healing frequencies, the solfeggio healing frequencies, if you can look that up. I embedded those frequencies within the music. And I did it really as a social experiment. The music is very pleasant and chilled and laid back to listen to, but people were having quite astonishing results after listening to it. The feedback I got was people saying that their child now sleeps when they listen to that album, when no other music would make them sleep. Or other feedback I've had is, you know, my dogs and my pets are much calmer when I have your music on. Other music, they're not calm, but as soon as I put your Solfeggio Healing album on, the pets are much calmer. I even had one guy tell me that his plants were growing a lot faster because he was playing my music to it. And I've had, you know, so much feedback of that sort that it's led me to believe that there's absolutely something to it. So I will continue to make my music in 432 hertz. And just on the feedback alone, I did my own scientific experiment. I recorded in 432 hertz. I put the solfeggio frequencies within the music. I sent it out. People bought it. And the feedback was just quite incredible. So I'm utterly convinced. I mean, when I'm performing music in the studio in 432 hertz, I can feel the difference. In fact, I've got to the point now where I will not listen. I try not to listen to 440 music at all. I know it's inescapable sometimes when you're watching a documentary. You know, the soundtrack will always be in 440 hertz. But there is a reason why the Rockefellers funded this change of frequency that we are in now. And I would suggest that it's not a good one.
Wow, interesting. I
think that the easiest way to understand that whether it works is the feedbacks.
Exactly.
Yes, so
that's what you call a real scientific experiment. You know, it's testable, it's repeatable, it's observable. So I'm glad I did it, because I'm now even more convinced that this is the right frequency our music should be in, because I have done a scientific experiment with thousands of people. So my mind is made up.
Very good.
So, Alex, normally I'm mechanical engineer. So sometimes I need to design something, and in order to measure that it works or not, I always use this way. I'm just listening to customers' feedbacks, and then it's very easy to understand it works or not. So
yeah, exactly.
My approach is always like this, to evaluate something.
It's also interesting to me that certain ancient tribes would use 432 hertz to access certain states, certain spiritual states. You know, maybe even leaving the body. The didgeridoo is a good example. The didgeridoo is said in Australia to you can use it to access what they call is the dreams time, which is out of body experiences. And when I found didgeridoo sounds online, I found that they were in 432 hertz. And when you find ancient instruments as well, and you know they're tested, and they also seem to be in 432 hertz. So, and I also found a bunch of monks that use this throat singing. They do this very low. They do this kind of thing, and they can access different realms. And when I recorded those monks and I played back the key of the music, they were also chanting in 432 hertz. So it's a real big conspiracy when you start looking into it, and it's quite fascinating.
To be honest, before I meet you, I had no knowledge, no information about this 432 hertz, but I think from now on I will start to research about it, because it's really interesting. So I just want to ask you a question more. I think in your music clips, you use green screen. So
Yeah.
I think this this is the same method with NASA. What do you think about it? Are
Well, I
they
mean,
jealous of you?
NASA have $60 million a day to play with, don't they? I don't. I don't have a budget. All of my music videos is zero budget. There's no money that goes into my music videos. Just a lot of time and creativity.
You're right.
Maybe I might have to buy a prop here and there, like the goggles that I used in Puppet Show. That was like $20. But you know, some people have said to me, your green screen work is as good as NASA's. So you know, that's interesting. So yeah, I certainly don't have that budget, but you know, NASA is just a movie. You know, that's how I see NASA. It's just it's a bad movie, a very bad movie, because there are so many mistakes. But the green screen allowed me to do so much creativity, and as you can see on the screen here, I've had a lot of fun with it.
So the mutual point with yourself and NASA is green screen, but the difference between yourselves, they have money, you don't have for clips.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
So Alex and other hosts, I normally we foresee maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes for the stream. It's very I'm very enjoying this, but I think we have to finish step by step. So time is about to be over. So if you want to sing a song, if you want to give us a live performance,
can I ask one more question before we close? So I know the other Flat Earth musicians. I think Amber is doing pretty good. I heard Globusters intro that I think she was she was doing it. Is there any other one that am I missing? Do you know any other Flat Earth musicians that?
I mean, I hate to say this. I do hate to say this, but there's not enough good Flat Earth musicians in the community, sadly. There's a lot of people that are trying really hard, and but for me, I mean, maybe I'm a perfectionist, but I think the quality lacks. I think we need more musicians to step up and do their thing, really. But unfortunately, all the really good musicians are out there making money out in the pubs, or they've got a studio job, they've got a day job, and so they're probably making music all day, and then by the time they've finished work, they don't want to make music. You know, maybe that's it. But yeah, I mean, ODD is one that springs to mind. He's more of a rap artist. His lyrics are incredibly conscious. I love his lyrical content. Right. And there are rumors that I might be doing a song with him one day. I don't know. I mean, he and I both work very, very relaxed, so there's no rush for any content. So that's good. I like to work that way. But if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. We'll see what happens. But I'm just going to continue putting out the best content I can in many different genres. My next song, for instance, will be very heavy rock, incredibly heavy rock, actually. So some people won't like that, but you know, some people will love it. My next song after that may be a reggae song. Some people will love it, some people won't love it. But I would like to see more musicians, definitely, because you know, I struggle to find good Flat Earth musicians at the moment. So we need more.
Right. All right.
That's good. So we are still waiting for a little live performance from you, Alex.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned before we went live, my songs are so long. They have so much lyrical content, and it's very difficult for me to remember the entire song without, you know, having some lyrics in front of me, because there's an awful lot of words. But what I can play you is maybe a chorus of one of the songs, you know. And I always start with an acoustic guitar when I'm writing one of my songs. For instance, when I wanted to, dare I say, educate people about gravity and the fact that we've been lied to about this invisible force. And I wanted to sing a song, and I wanted the chorus to be, "Don't believe in gravity." That's all I wanted to sing. So I started to work out on the guitar. Don't believe in gravity. Don't believe in fantasy. Don't believe, cause a fear is all it is. It's never been proven, but they teach it to the kids, yeah. So it's just a very catchy chorus there that gets stuck in your head, and that's what I like to do. I like to have the most important part of the song resonate within you, and you can't stop. I want you to hear one of my songs, and when you walk away, you're singing it instantly. I want it to be catchy, so every song I do has to be catchy. And the most important part of the song is obviously the chorus, and that's the most important thing I want to say. I want to say, don't believe in gravity. That's what I'm trying to tell you in this song. Don't believe in gravity. That's the main part that I want to get across. And it's the same with all of my songs. There's no photographs of Earth is another example as well. So it'll be, there ain't no photographs of Earth, somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons, they're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, none at all. Why the hell can't no one take a photo of this ball? And that's the most important part of the song. There ain't no photographs of Earth. Somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons. They're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, none at all. Why the hell can't no one take a photo of this ball? That's so important. But of course, it's delivered in, there ain't no photographs of Earth. Somebody tell me why. It sounds more comedic. It's more deliverable that way. And it's the same with every song I do is, welcome to the satellite hoax, just another one of them NASA jokes. You can't find me a picture of a satellite without bringing up a bunch of that CGI. Just a bunch of cartoons all over the place when I search satellites in space. Yeah, type that phrase into Google, folks, and let me welcome you to the satellite hoax. You know, that's just putting the idea into someone's head that, you know, welcome to the satellite hoax. Just another one of them NASA jokes. You can't find me a picture of a satellite without bringing up a bunch of CGI. And it's the same. The most important part of what I want to say is always in the chorus, and I try to make it as catchy as possible. So I can't think of any other examples for now. So I hope that'll do.
That was great.
Really great and appreciate it. Thanks very much, Alex.
Thank you very much. Now I don't want to talk about NASA ever again.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
It was good.
Thanks a lot. That was really good. So you guys, Ali, Seven Zone,
I'm good.
can I have your final says, please?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoyed this conversation. Thanks. Yeah, I'm glad to meet you.
No, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Hopefully one day we'll meet in another Flat Earth conference. So
yeah, I hope so. I mean, traveling to the USA is very, very expensive, and I can't afford to do that every year. That cost me quite a few thousand, but it was a great experience. And I hope there's more Flat Earth meetings and in Europe. I'd like to see some more come to Spain, and because I just love being around, you know, people like yourselves who are of the same understanding. There's nothing like it. So I hope to be attending some more conferences in the future, but probably more local to me, hopefully. Yeah.
But I can advise something like that. We have a closer and a cheaper country, Spain, Turkey. I'm talking about. So the trip cost will be cheaper to Turkey. One day, I'm not joking, but after the restrictions, lockdowns, pandemic situation, maybe you can visit Turkey, and we can help you. We can willingly host you here. That will be very good for us.
Yeah, that would be nice. So, you know, never say never. I mean, obviously, we need to get this nonsense out of the way first. This pandemic, this this new world order takeover. We need to get rid of this first, because I certainly won't be stepping on a plane if I have to have a vaccination or even a mask.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. You know, I don't think the no jab, no fly can be sustained. I just can't see it because so many people are you know, probably I would estimate around 50% of the people are just vaccine informed now, at least. And I don't see how they can sustain that rule on planes unless they have certain airlines dedicated to non-vaxxers or anti-vaxxers, and then another airline for the people that have been vaccinated. I don't know. I mean, in this crazy world, I wouldn't put it past them. You know, that because that's another divide and conquer technique, isn't it? So you have your vax plane and your anti-vax plane. You know, there's more division there. So who knows what's coming? But yeah, I do hope to meet you one day, and perhaps we can have a beer.
Right.
Okay, Seven Zone, you have any final say for us? I think he's not with us right now.
I think he's frozen.
Yes, frozen, and maybe he can have some internet connection problem. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us, and also our fans, the followers, and audiences. Thanks very much for your time with us. Today, Alex Michael was with us, and it was really a very, very good program for us. I think everyone here enjoyed it and spent a good time with you. I think it will be better if we repeat this kind of programs with you, Alex.
Yeah, well, you know, just give me you know, I'm on Facebook. So, you know, if you want to do another one, let me know. I mean, I don't really come out with new material every month because my videos take such a long time to make. So I'm usually putting out content every few months. So, you know, when you see a new song, if you want to talk about it, invite me on and we can talk about that. But yeah, thanks for having me on. I've enjoyed it also.
Okay, thanks very much. And goodbye, everyone. Thanks very much again.
Thank you. Bye.
Are we clear?
I think we are, yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot. And I'll see you next time, yeah?
See you next time. Thank you, Alex.
Ciao.
Good talking to you.
Efendim?